Whoa. It is the weekend. It is one of the most defining weekends of the season so far, as we will have a much better idea to where all the players lie come 10 o'clock on Monday. Welcome to the podcast and welcome to Grumpy Old Reds, as we are going to take you through the preview for Forest versus Southampton. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching. Hope you are doing well, and welcome to the weekend. Your weekend starts here as, what's his name? Who used to say that on X Factor? Dermot O'Leary? I don't know. But as you can see, the makeup artist still hasn't finished with certain individuals. There are two missing. But Dino, kudos to you, mate. You're out in the Maldives at the moment, and you can still find the time to get on and say hello to your adoring fans. How are you, Dino?
I'm good. I wish I was in the Maldives, my friend. Yorkshire. The Yorkshire Maldives, Harrogate.
How's the weather there, mate? Did you have a thunderstorm today, or did it hold up?
Thunderstorm when we got here, mate. Really massive thunderstorm. So,
yeah.
No idea.
It's good to have you, mate. We will be having Sorry Mike will be coming on. We've just done a little bit of work with him as well on his channel, so make sure you're all subscribed, and we'll be having Sorry Mike on as well. He was a little down, wasn't he? He made me feel more down than I think I should, but he is down.
Positive, actually.
You thought he was positive?
Well, I'm feeling positive because he was like, I think we'll lose, but we might draw. So, I mean, can't. You've got to take that, haven't you? We're normally picking up, aren't they? The opposition fans are picking themselves
up. Exactly. Simon saying, I tried to find the Southampton stream, the GOR's one, but failed miserably. Sorry, Mike. Yeah, he's done a pre-recording. He's going to put it as part of a bigger stream thing for his video. So that will be coming out soon. So make sure you do subscribe to their channel. And on Mr. Ant, we all send our love and our best wishes to him. He is definitely getting better. It was that Brentford result. It knocked him for 6. I think it did. But he will be back soon.
On the stream for a little bit, so he can take a bit of a break. The rest.
Yeah, we're not even joking. We barred him from the stream because every time he comes back, he's making himself a little worse. So, Speaking of being on the beach, what time do you call this, mate?
Sorry, mate. Connection issues. Hi, mate.
Sai is having some speaker issues. Look, you guys talk, and
Mike.
we'll get. Look, you guys. I'll tell you what. Let's bring on Sorry Mike, right? Because the crowd wants to see him, and there's Ant's in the chat. Get away from computers and get back to bed, mate. But we got our special guest here. Let's bring in Sorry Mike. You guys love him. I can't believe this Mike is stuck, Mike, and I'm sorry that you've got a nickname of Sorry Mike.
I feel so Sorry Mike and Poor Mike, isn't it? It's kind of
yeah.
Sorry Poor Mike as well. There's a bit of a mix.
How are you, Mike? It feels like a long time since we last spoke.
It's been at least 10 or 15 minutes since we last spoke to each other. So it's been hard. It's been lonely. It's good to be back. So there we go. Thanks.
We've missed you. I'm just going to sort Sai out because he's sending me all kinds of WhatsApp messages.
I've got that big white patch over me again.
I can do one thing at a time, right? Dino, can you just introduce our beloved guest? Everyone knows him in the crowd anyway. And everyone in the crowd, hit that like button while we're sorting all the technical issues out. Dino, I'll be right back. Let me sort Sai out.
Yeah, Mike's the loveliest Southampton fan I've ever met. I've met two. With a silky voice. And he's got some great content. He does some great matchday content.
Yeah. So,
welcome, Mike. Are you ready for a good plastering? Because it's going to be like 4v1 here.
I'm hoping not to oblige, but we'll certainly see how that goes. Have I frozen on your screen? I'm having all kinds of difficulties.
You just done a ventriloquist impression, to be honest, but that's fine.
I have, yeah. Let me see if I can just switch to a much more less demanding camera.
So, confident, Mike, or just completely lost hope?
His silence answers everything, mate.
He's frozen. I know you're not frozen. He's just staying very still. I'm not going to answer that.
He's he's resigned to it, mate.
He's resigned to it. Or did
How are you feeling about it, Dino? Are you confident about this weekend?
Yeah, I am confident. I think we'll win.
I've got that. I've started having doubts, mate. But I think the benefit is that we're the last team that plays. I think that's the biggest thing going actually in our favour. Not that it will change how Cooper approaches it. I got a feeling if results go our way, he's going to be more cautious than we could anticipate, and that's what's bothering me a little bit. But we have got the benefit of knowing exactly where we are come the kick-off of that game. And guys, we might be, I think Wolverine's mentioned already that he's going to be doing some watch-alongs on games on Monday. Yeah, I've got that Everton feeling. Yeah. I just if any team can give somebody a boost, it's us, isn't it? It's I'm kind of hoping like I think Chelsea have got Bournemouth this weekend. And it's like, if Chelsea come into the game with us still not having had a win in 13-odd games, and you can just see us handing it to them. So that's the kind of thing you want to get past. But yeah, no, go back to your question for Mike. How are you
back in the room?
You amazingly, perfectly timed froze there.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it was I know you're faking it.
Absolutely. Did not want to answer that question.
Feeling at the minute. There's some real heavy fixtures around at the weekend that really, just before we play even, that really sets our game up to be a tantalising one. Is this last chance saloon for you guys, and how do you feel?
Last chance saloon was a few games back for, I think, most Saints fans. So this kind of feels like, one of those games where a mad run could suddenly start to happen on Monday. So there's a slight glimmer that something might happen. But I'm probably least confident about our away fixtures being the Forest ground, just because of the intimidating atmosphere that's going to be there. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But in terms of the rest of the fan base, I mean, most Saints fans I speak to are just literally thinking about, God, I wonder what QPR away will be like next season. Yeah, let's go see a few more guys. Literally everyone I speak to. And we're all kind of resigned to the fact, if you've beaten 4 teams all season, what makes you think you're going to win 4 games? Or what makes you think you're going to win away at Brighton, who are absolutely flying? What makes you think that we're going to pull off against a result against Liverpool at home? So the next 2 games, as weird as it sounds, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that we might get a result at the Forest ground. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that we might get a result against Fulham at home, who are arguably on the beach already. So it's kind of like one of those, I don't know, we'll see what happens, but we're definitely playing in Championship next season.
Well, this is it. So you must be obviously preparing for life in the Championship.
I sacked all the staff. They're gone now.
They're gone. Tea lady as well.
Exactly. Just
keep the
get
tea
out.
lady.
Can't afford you no more.
Yeah, but
how long have you guys? How long have you guys been up this time? Is it since Ricky Lambert days, or have you been down since?
11 years we've been up in the Premier League. So so it's been.
Mike, I think you've got some extra work here potentially.
Mike, I hope you're reading the chat. They absolutely love you, Mike. My missus wants Mike to read 50 Shades to her.
Silkiest radio voice ever.
Mike's so wise, they're saying. Love Mike. He's how I hope I'd present if I was resigned to relegation. Eddie's saying it ain't sorry, Mike. It's deluded Mike tonight we've got, because Pat was saying sorry, Mike. And then Vic is here giving you moral support as well, Mike. It's.
I tell you what, our lot are full of backhanded compliments, mate. So you'll get a few more.
It's a kind of semi-compliment.
Look at that. Chris Wood. Maybe I'll take that. Maybe. Can you see Chris Wood in 50 Shades? Don't answer that. Nobody answers that.
Oh, God.
Just black and white.
Mike, but I know what you're saying, right? But football is football, isn't it? I mean, who would have thought that Forest would blow a lead with 9 minutes to go against Brentford? Who would have thought Forest would have beat Brighton the other week? Who would have thought Forest would have scored 3 goals in a match, in this season? So I get what you're saying, but you've done it before. You guys have had some great escapes in your time, haven't you, man? Where I always feel like Southampton somehow find a way. But is this year that year too far?
I think
Yeah,
it might.
has it ever been as desperate as this going into the last 4 or 5 games for you guys? When you've
Not
had
as
your great escapes?
not as desperate as this. There was a season where I think it was Stoke and Swansea and ourselves, and we went away to Swansea, and then we pulled off a win that effectively meant that we were safe going into last game against Man City. So, but the frustrating thing for me is the fact that we've been worse than this, so much worse than this, and survived. So it's almost testament to the fact of how tough the Premier League is now. We've gone into a season where most football fans in the Premier League would look at the league at the start of the season and gone, okay, Bournemouth, yeah, they're going to be down. No disrespect to yourselves, Forest would have been in amongst it. A lot of people will look at Brentford as well in terms of second season. Most people have Fulham down there. So the fact that the Southampton way has been to recruit young players, building them up, and also the Southampton way is let's hope there are 3 teams worse than ourselves going into the season, because that you kind of have a buffer. Nobody has that buffer this season. I think it's the first season where we haven't had a Norwich or someone that's ended up with 11 points, or it was at Sheffield United a few seasons back, that kind of stuff. So there hasn't been that kind of luxury for us to bounce on, really.
Yeah.
But what is your expectations, Mike, at the start of the season? Is it a case of survival, or is it a case of let's see if we can be like a boring mid-table team again, like you were maybe 5-6 years ago? What was the initial expectation this year?
It was the boring mid-table part, I would say. A lot of when we bought our in our transfer window, we bought a lot of young talent. We bought a very young goalkeeper who played his football in League One last season. We bought most of the Man City academy, a lot of talented footballers, but they don't have that kind of like maturity to be a leader in the team kind of thing. Romeo Lavia, who's now, I think he's 19 years old or something like that, has showed more maturity in the squad than probably anyone else. The mature players that we've got in our squads, the likes of Orsic, the likes of
Where is he? He's only played 1 game for you.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. We'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there.
Yeah, let's not forget to talk about it because I really want to know about him.
Yeah, no. Dushkaletkar, Aribo, all these kind of like players that have played Champions League football. They've been in, Europa League finals with Aribo. They haven't been the leaders on the pitch or in the dressing room that perhaps I think the Southampton board were kind of hoping that those would be the experienced in and amongst the youth players that would actually gel the team together. But what you've been really left with is James Ward-Prowse trying to do everything. Just literally trying to be a captain, which arguably is not the best voice on the pitch, but you can see he's desperately trying to do everything he possibly can. But it's just not worked out.
Desperately missing your midfielder. I forget his name now. Romelu or something. Oh.
Romeo.
Yeah. You're missing him massively this season because he was.
That's a huge shout.
Yeah, I think he did the job quietly, didn't he? He was always in my fantasy league team, and you'd get those decent points because he's a solid player. But I think that's probably your biggest miss this season. But on reflection, would you have kept Hasenhüttl on reflection?
On reflection now, yes, 100%. Did he need to go? Yes. So it's kind of like a weird answer.
You bloody contradictor, mate. Explain that to us. Explain that to us. I'm intrigued.
Here's the thing. I don't particularly like the style of football that Wolves have been playing, but they got rid of a manager and got Lopetegui. I don't particularly admire. Well, that's not really fair. I like what Aston Villa are doing at the moment. They got rid of a manager, and they got in Unai Emery. What we did is we got rid of Hasenhüttl and got in the assistant coach at Luton, who I'm going to say, because there's no way he was leading that dressing room at all. We've got the assistant coach from Luton, and basically wrecked our season in 7 or 8 fixtures, which were absolutely disastrous. We got a result. We stopped Man City winning the quadruple, and as a result gave more time to Nathan Jones to wreck things. And then after that, we then gave the job to Ruben Sellers, who has been the same voice in the dressing room throughout the entire campaign. He's been in the voice of the ear of Hasenhüttl, the voice in the ear of Nathan Jones, who then went on a famous rant saying, I'm going to stop listening to people in my dressing room. It was that guy. And now here we are with Ruben Sellers with 4 games to go. with just an abysmal points tally and a worse points record out of all three managers is Ruben Sellers, who we've ended up with.
Yeah.
But
I wish Si would connect, because his favourite manager ever is Nathan Jones, and you two would have had a hell of a chat about him. I think he's trying to get back in. But yeah, I agree with Pat. I think Paul Hart ran Luton.
Yeah,
The legend knows Paul Harty,
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah.
I've got a strange question for you.
Okay.
Been, with respect, fairly mediocre season after season in the Premier League, but there for a fairly long time.
Brutal, but go on. Yes.
Welcome to Forest Fantasy.
Slightly fair, but brutal.
Would you enjoy a season down in the Championship next year, actually potentially fighting in the top 6?
That's
Or do you enjoy the mediocrity?
that's a really interesting question, and I think a lot of Saints fans would probably say, yeah, I can't wait to actually go into a fixture and think like, because a lot of the fixtures we go away to, we're kind of thinking if we come out of this with a point, we'll be well happy. We any win feels like you won the Champions League in the Premier League when you're one of our clubs.
It's draining, isn't it?
It is.
It's
It's exhausting.
Because we had with Cooper, we went on a right run last year, and just going into games feeling you could just tonk anybody, and we were. And then all of a sudden, we're just losing every week with this low block, horrible football. And it brings you down, doesn't it, over the season?
Put some context on that, because that was one season out of how many, mate? Because Forest we'd have a decent season where we'd hover around the playoffs, and then we'd have a shocking season the following year where we're fighting relegation. So there was no consistency from our point of view. If all everything is as it is, and you knew it was only going to be, I mean, if you know it's only going to be one season, you kind of like take it. But if you're going to be thinking that it's going to be any longer than a season down there, then that's when you get into trouble, and that's when the Malay kicks in, because we hate the Championship. This is why most of us have said what we've said about the managerial position, let's put it that way, because we want at all costs to stay up, whatever it takes to stay up, and even if that means changing manager mid-season, trying to get a little new manager bounce, whatever it is. That's why we're so desperate to stay in, because we hate the Championship. One season you can take, but if you're down there for any longer than that, mate, then you're in trouble. Like a lot of teams have proved to have that problem as well. It's not easy getting back up. And do you expect, with everything as it is, would you expect to come straight back up?
I think a lot of I would say yes, and I say that because of who we've got to move on, and also how we're set up. I don't think, when we went down in 2001, 2002 kind of time, it was pretty desperate, and there weren't things like the parachute payments that there are now, and we were in a terrible position, and effectively it was do or die, and we didn't come up back in one season, and then we dropped down to League One, and the rest is history. But we did get back-to-back promotions to get back to the Premier League. But yeah, it's one of those things where I think we're probably the best suited, not the best suited, but the best equipped to do what we need to do next season. Because of effectively how we're run at the moment is we're using a lot of youth talent, we're using a lot of academy players, we've got the recruitment academy person who came from Man City. So all those players that we bought from Man City's academy, or we bought from, he's come over to Southampton now. So we've got a lot of very good young players, which are kind of like suited to, okay, they've got a season to prove themselves, and the Championship is a great place to do that. So we're already looking at, okay, Charlie Alcaraz, if he sticks around, sounds like he wants to get settled on the South Coast. He's learning English. He's loving it down there. So if he sticks around, then you got Will Smallbone coming back from Stoke, who's had a great season in the Championship. Another defensive midfielder if Romeo Lavia is to move on straight away, and you can start to pick out the positions of who we've got and what would make sense. So
Will Smallbone.
Yes. Yeah.
Did not call him Willie Smallbone.
I guess it will now.
If we've got any mods in the chat, can you kick out Mateus, please?
I think they have done. Yes.
It's a slanderous comment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hold on. Let me get Sai on now. That changed the whole thing. Now he comes inside. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Yeah, but yeah, as I said, no camera for me because I'm on my phone.
I think it's the best for everyone without you on the camera, mate.
I'm better when I'm off camera anyway.
So, Mike.
Sorry, I've not. By the way, I've not heard any of this conversation you've had because I've been trying to get the sound working for the last 20
Okay,
minutes.
it's fine, mate. It's fine.
Heads up.
But I just want to bring you up to speed, Si, because Mikey's been saying that he doesn't like your boy Nathan Jones, and I know you're a big believer in the Nathan Jones philosophy on football. So, did you always think, Si, when you saw that happening, it was going to be a disaster for Southampton?
Yeah, I mean, Nathan Jones sort of single-handedly made me hate Luton for quite a few years. So I absolutely can't stand the guy. And when he got the job at Southampton, I was laughing about it, but then I was thinking, what if, you always have that feeling that, what if he proves me wrong, or what if he starts doing well? Because I've publicly slated him loads of times on this channel and with my mates. So I could have been exposed, but yeah, to be fair, it turned out sort of the way I was expecting because that guy's a lunatic. To be fair,
Yeah,
but it was interesting, Mike.
Nailed
It was one of the things I watched, and I'll hold my hand up. I'm sad. I really did enjoy it. Was the townhouse that got done just about 2 weeks or so before Nathan Jones was being sacked. I can't believe they carried on with it. I don't know if you saw it or you were there. But they were slating Nathan Jones, man, to the board of directors, whoever it was, in front of them. And like you could almost feel like you just knew Nathan was going because they weren't really defending him, were they? They were just they're like, yeah, we know it's our fault, but we are monitoring it and all this. Was that something that...
My favourite response to one of the questions was the fact that, okay, if Nathan's so, confident, why is he not here this evening to defend himself? And the response to that question was, well, we planned this 6 to 8 months ago, so just like, I'm sorry, you didn't do the guest list for this event 6 to 8 months ago. Something so ridiculous, like literally let the guy come out. But I know exactly why he wasn't there, because if he was there, it would have literally caused an absolute riot, because he just would have spoken his mind, and he would have had 100 Saints fans literally jump on him.
Because that was off the back, Mike, wasn't it? Where he did that deluded Sam Allardyce style interview, wasn't it? If I remember rightly.
Which one?
The one where he said he was the best in Europe or something like that, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it might have been after the Brentford away game.
Yeah.
Where he said that he'd been listening to voices in the dressing room, and which I think alluded to Ruben Sellers, but even still, it was just. Yeah, that was painful, and I think a lot of the questions were what has Nathan Jones shown this panel up here that he's got the caliber to lead this football club? What qualities has he shown, and why have we appointed him? Please tell us reasons why. And I think there was just a kind of a mishmash of, okay, well, we've looked at the stats and the numbers, and we've drilled it down to this and all this kind of like possession stats, XGs, all that kind of stuff. And even with that, I'm still thinking, you giving me 2 + 2 and giving me 27 here. It's like, I don't see how this adds up to what you're saying. And I think a lot of them had already resigned to the fact of, okay, yeah, we know it's really bad. There's literally one more bad result, and he's out. And we saw that when we went down to Wolves went down to 10 men and still managed to come back and beat us 2-1. So I think that really could kind of put the nail in the coffin. But there was a slight part of me, and Simon alluded to it earlier, and in the sense that, is it one of those things where just over a course of time, you're going to be proved wrong? Is there going to be a moment where suddenly something clicks and it goes into effect and we're all made to eat our words and stuff like that? But in the Premier League, you don't have the luxury of time. No manager has the luxury of time, apart from Frank Lampard. But no manager
and Steve Cooper.
And Steve Cooper, but that's the harsh reality. You go back to Palace had a manager, was it Frank de Boer or something like that? Lasted 5 games, lost them all. You don't get time in the Premier League, and we gave Nathan Jones a lot of time. He had the World Cup break to work with the squad, so he was given time. But
that was weird, wasn't it, Mike? Because he looked like he was going to go around that time, and you would have thought they would have given whoever was coming in that World Cup break to gel the team or get his philosophy in a bit, and that's what confused me. But you are right, there are elements of him, because people forget he stopped our run last season. When we went to Luton, now it was complete shambles. We should have had a goal that was disallowed, but it was some weird rule that the that the officials didn't understand in football. But technically, Zach, thank you so much for subscribing. He put a stop. We were probably in our biggest purple patch, if I remember rightly, and around that time. We just came off the international break, I think it was. Was it Si? You'll remember better than me. And then we lost 1-0 to them. And that
I
didn't
couldn't believe it
deflate
when we
us, but
lost
it
that
holds... Sorry?
I couldn't believe it when we lost that game because that was a time when we forgot what it was like to lose football games.
Yeah,
Win after win after win.
Yeah, we had our cup runners.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, you get that sometimes in the championships. It takes 23 years, Mike, but you do get that nice run going. But yeah, so I thought he could do it at Southampton, but I always thought his arrogance would be his downfall. He's a bit like that Sheffield United manager. I can't stand him either. I forgot his name.
I can't stand him. Heckingbottom.
That's it. Yeah, they remind me a lot. They got similar traits in them. But anyway, who cares? He's not there, right? You guys are still here in the Premier League. And guys in the chat, get your questions into Mike. I've opened up a panel. We got you for like another 10. Mike, you good for another 10? Yeah,
that's fine. I've got the rest of this, so I'm sitting pretty with my Belgian beer for Romeo Olivier.
Mike, can I just ask you a quick question, if that's all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Obviously, one thing I've noticed about Southampton is you guys are a lot better away from home than at home. And one thing I've noticed about Southampton is every time I watch the games, especially the home games, there's a lot of empty seats.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a big factor? And do you think your fans could have done more to keep you guys up this season? I mean, I'm saying that as you've gone down, but, it's helped you a bit more because obviously one thing that's happened at Forest is we've had the home support, 100% of fans, behind the manager, behind the team all the time. Don't matter what stuff, what we're playing, don't matter how bad we are, all the fan base is behind the team. Whereas I feel like at Southampton, it's been a bit more toxic, like quite early on as well. I noticed a lot of empty seats.
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. I mean, I think one of the things that goes against us where we are is the fact on the South Coast our ticket prices are quite high when you consider the quality of football that's been on offer and the kind of opposition that, you want to go and watch Bournemouth play, you're paying 50 quid for a single ticket. And, that's a lot of money for, a club that's won 2 games at home all season. So there's been a kind of a bit of a, like you said, a toxic vibe. But I think it goes for any club to a certain extent. If a team's not playing well and it's not showing like it cares, that rubs off. And I think there are a few exceptions to the rule. It
is a bit of a shock to us because you're talking about people don't want to pay 50 quid at Forest. If even if you wanted to pay 50 quid, you couldn't get a ticket. It's like gold dust.
But it's different though, Si, isn't it? They've been there a few years, and we're with the.
What my point is, I just feel like your fans could have made more of a difference, especially when it's so tight at the bottom. If you had a couple of wins, you could be right out of the relegation zone.
Yeah. No, we certainly could. I mean, you look at some of the games that we've lost 1-0, like really nothing performances. The away at Villa, probably the worst game of football the Premier League's seen all season. Away at Wolves where we lost 1-0 and Sheridan's even tried to score. He headed it onto his arm and it rolled off and went in. Like I think we've lost maybe 10 games this season, 1-0.
Even against us, mate. Against us, it was 1-0. Che Adams missed an absolute sitter in the first 5-10 minutes, I think it was.
Like you say, 2 wins and we got 30 points and not 24. That's the kind of difference, and some other clubs are in the close around us. So there's a gulf there, but it is quite tight when you think about the kind of results that could have gone for us. But it's fair comment. Lots of people have been getting on the backs of Southampton fans, and even the board has sort of said, when we go one down, we need to have the fans behind us. And I think after that kind of famous speech by
Jones.
No, not Jones. There you go. Wish I was doing this. Oh, his name escapes me. But the Martin Simmons. There we go. Literally after he said that, every time we went 1-0 down, there was a big roar of "Oh, the Saints," and we really did try hard to just get behind the team. But it's been tough to watch week in, week out, and just see so many nothing performances. So yeah.
To be honest, watching a couple of your TikToks, it seems to be you and I think he's starting all the chants in the stadium. To be honest, where you're at. But yeah, no, I went down. I was there for a reverse fixture. The best thing about it was the fireworks display at the start of the game. I think that was the most your fans got, most noise your fans made.
We like a
In
light
fact, they
show.
were singing along. I think you had Nathan Jones at the time, and we was slagging him off, and I think you all lot were joining in with us. So that was funny to be part of. But you had your chances in that game, and any game that we've won this season, bar probably the second half against Brighton
Leicester.
a couple of weeks. Probably second half against.
No, second half against Leicester, second half against Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, we've not had a sustained period of play where we've actually dominated a team or looked like we're going to score a couple of goals. The 3 that we got against Brighton was totally out of the blue. And we needed it, to be honest. I feel if we didn't score that penalty, we would have let them straight back into it, and they probably would have got an equaliser in the last few minutes. That's how fragile we've been. But we have managed to pick up the results at home, and that's the thing that I think where the atmosphere, like Simon was alluding to, is probably hopefully going to make the difference. Because
what's your away support like, Mike?
Yeah, it's pretty decent. Yeah, no, I think this one we've opened up more of an allocation. So there was. Because basically every single away game this season is sold out. But I don't think the Forest allocation has been fully purchased. So there's still,
It's a Monday night though, mate. It's a long distance.
It's a bank holiday. It's away from home. I mean, look at the stadiums this
bottom
week.
of the league.
The Etihad barely had any West Ham fans in it, and they'll say that it was rearranged for the fixture. But I'm sorry, there is a train that goes directly there. Come on, sort that out. And the same for the Man United fans at Brighton last night. There were empty seats in Brighton Stadium. It's Man United.
Yeah, that's because that should be easy for them. Most of their fans in London. There's a direct train to Brighton from London, so they shouldn't have struggled
Train
with
from
that
Croydon,
either.
you'd be fine.
Yeah. I remember when we had Brighton, they'd rearrange. It was a midweeker, wasn't it? It was like a Tuesday, Wednesday night, freezing back in, I want to say October, November time. I mean, that's a round trip and a half, Sometimes they got to look at these fixtures and someone's got to show them a map, man. It's a bit crazy, the hours that are covered.
All for TV coverage as well. Shocking.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a Southampton Newcastle away fixture, isn't it, Mike? Takes 400 years.
I did that. Yeah, I did that to the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, and I kind of tagged in some business along the way, so I kind of cheated a little bit and got a hotel up there. But even still,
I was gonna say, mate, how long is it straight from that? Because that was a midweeker.
Yeah, it's probably 6 hours.
6 hours one way.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So, this is the thing. I think I spoke to a lot of Bournemouth fans, and what am I saying? I think I spoke to. I'm sure I spoke to a lot of Bournemouth fans, and they were saying that it's kind of bittersweet that that we're going to be going down is because of the fact that it's their favourite away day because it's half an hour up the road. But if we basically all these Midlands clubs, which basically sort of hop on the train for an hour, get all these away games so close to them, so it's kind of every away game for us is kind of a long drive.
Well, who knows? There still might be the Nottingham Southampton drive next season. I don't want to talk like you guys are down yet, right? Because, I kind of have to hope.
This is my big bluff. Let's keep you.
This is what's worrying me. I don't like this because this reminds me of before the Everton match a few weeks ago. It reminds me of before the Wolves match a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we were puffing our chest. I wasn't. I got receipts. I wasn't. Yeah. And I'm just getting a little worried. Now, do I believe we're going to beat you on Monday? The answer to that is yes. But there's just something about Forest that is just so foresty to go. Yeah. I said this to my mates. I said, it wouldn't surprise me if we drew with you and then beat Chelsea. Did it that way around. Instead of realistically in my heart, what I would like is obviously to beat you guys and then go get a draw to Chelsea. But is there anyone on the panel who's feeling that same way? Potentially, it's like I'm not saying we'll go beat Chelsea, but I'm saying, are we going to do a Forest here?
No,
I don't know what that means. Wolverine doing a Forest is losing games of football with 25% possession.
It's like you're young, mate. You're 23 or whatever. You haven't seen.
I know what you're saying. It worries me how many people were banking us 3 points already for this game. It's like you know, when I've seen Forest fans do their predictions, it's like, 3 points against Southampton, and they're trying to work out how many more points we get from the other games. It is worrying, to be honest.
Mike, go on.
Thank you.
Just
Go
one
on,
second,
Mike,
right?
you have to
Seeing that crypto's paid £2, Mike,
Mike.
would you do us the honour?
Man, this takes me back. FIFA 96. You ready? Ready? Should I do it? EA
Good.
Sports. It's in the game.
Oh my god,
That's
that
really
is
good.
so good.
That
That is so good.
really
Can we have that one more
We
time?
rent him out.
do it one more time.
Wow.
You enjoyed that?
Yeah, if you want to hear that again, it's going to cost you £2 minimum. Wow, that was. I can't believe how good that was. But no, so when I'm talking about doing a Forest, in your lifetime, I'll give you the perfect example. Last season against Sheffield United, you're winning 2-1 on the first. Well, you're winning 2-0, and then we concede a 90th minute goal to get everyone's asses on the edge of the seat.
Yeah.
We then go 3-1 up early on, and you're thinking, okay, I might enjoy the second half, this second leg, sorry. And then we end up technically losing that game, but still celebrating at the end of it. There's nothing more Forest than that. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what I mean by a Forest. You can't do things the easy way. It's got to be we drive up a one-way road the wrong way round. That's the Forest thing to do. Or we drive it in reverse to not break the law.
Another Forest thing to do, Mike, is another Forest thing to do is to sit deep and just have no intention to go forward until we go a goal behind, and then we start going forward a bit more. That's another Forest.
I'd say that's more a Cooper thing to do.
Yeah.
This is why I'm worried. If we score first on Monday, I'm worried, to be honest.
Yeah,
I would almost
that's
rather
it.
go behind and then have to come from behind, because I just know we're going to get 1-0 lead and just sit back and invite
I
pressure on.
want to take that risk, mate. Just
No.
How
Bournemouth
often do we
did
come
that.
back, really? Yeah. Right.
Bournemouth did that when it came
Oh
to
God, Mike, what have you done, Mike?
Thank you. You could get voiceover. You get money for voiceovers.
Mate, you're wasted, Mike. You've got a second career here.
Well, you got to do it again, buddy.
Okay, you ready? EA Sports. It's in the game.
That's just scary how accurate it is, man. That's just...
PlayStation's just loaded up.
All right, we're not doing that again. The price has gone up to £5 for that one. No, that's not poor Mike, man. Sorry, Mike, as they all say.
Size point, Aubrey.
Go on.
So, Sai said he's not so convinced that we're going to walk away with 3 points. I've seen a couple of people in the chat actually say a similar thing. Is everybody in the chat sort of anybody that's really worried about this game? Just put a Y in the chat to see what the sort of numbers are.
Where's my keyboard?
I'm not saying we're not going to win. I'm just saying it's not going to be as easy as everyone's making out.
No.
Like,
but I've seen some people with.
But Dino, you're really swinging your dick out, mate. I feel like I've never seen you this confident, Dino.
Well, you have, and I've been wrong.
Yeah, you have.
That's why. That's why I'm worried. Oh my God, there's a lot of Y's in the chat.
I think I'm a bit of a jinx, to be honest.
There's a lot. Sly's saying he's worried. Martin's worried. Oh my! I think they're all worried now. Mike, we were hoping you'd come on here depressed. Yeah, tell us. The world is ending for you. To cheer our guys up. But now all I'm seeing is Y's in the chat, man.
Do you know what? Towards the end of the game against Bournemouth, they sat back a lot, and I think it was to much frustration, but literally just welcoming us on. And when Shea Adams scored, eventually was ruled off for offside by his little toe. But that's basically what they're doing. It was utter suicide, and I was thinking, why are they doing this? Like, we're showing no attacking threat. Just get out, But of course, I was on the other side of it, thinking like, okay, we might get something here. But yeah, you definitely don't want to do that. And there's no need to. There's no need to at all.
So
that's all we ever do. That's all we ever do.
Oh, sorry, one sec. Are we better off going on the front foot against you rather than playing counter-attacky football?
Yeah, absolutely.
We could lose this.
You're better at coming at us from the start, because Everton did that and we just couldn't. It took us 60-odd minutes to get our shape. So the best thing you could do is actually attack Forest, because Forest don't know what they're doing, mate. And especially if the fans were a little bit on edge in the last home game, and if that goal didn't go in just before half time, you would have seen a different atmosphere coming out. So I think the best thing you lot can do is really come at us, because teams who do that. It's like we don't expect it. It's like Cooper doesn't account for it or something like that, because if players seem half asleep and like what's happening. These teams are fighting for their lives. You know, you lot need to be fighting for your lives. I'm talking about our players, obviously, and we haven't seen that too often. So that's the best thing you can possibly do, because I guarantee you, especially if results go our way, he's going to sit back deep as you like, because he's going to think all we need to do is
get a point.
We'll need a goal and a counter attack, and that's it. And that's all he's going to be hoping for. So
let me just see how badly the chat are worried. I'm putting a poll up. Win, lose or draw. Forest, Southampton or draw. Get your votes in there. Sorry, carry on. I interrupted you.
But there's a lot of Forest fans are thinking one win could be enough to keep us up. Just looking at the fixtures that some of the other teams have got, and they're potentially right, but we can't sit on our laurels like I think we'll end up doing. So the best thing you lot can do is really score against us, and the results go our way as well beforehand. So I don't know. I'm just not entirely confident. I do think it's our most winnable game of the season at home. Really, it should be. But that's what worries me. That's what worries me the most.
Well, what's interesting, either Mike's brought 20% of his boys across, because, 15 now are saying Southampton will win. 19% are saying a draw. Keep the votes coming in, guys. I'm going to keep this open. And 67 are saying Forest. And as Ez says, on paper, sorry, Mike, but it should be our most winnable game, because we're at home. We're good at the City ground. There's just something in the depths of my asshole that just has me itching a little about this one. I don't know why. Because I think it's because if we win this one, we might be safe. It's a bit like when we went 1-0 up against Brentford. I started going 33. All right, Southampton next 36. Okay, Chelsea, 37. Arsenal, they'll be out the league title, 38. And then Palace will be on the beach. We'll finish on 41. Yeah, 41's not bad. And then they go and score. And this is why I'm worried, man. I'm just worried. Right.
Sorry, this is another way through us, Mike. This is a good way to beat us here from James.
Yeah.
You get away a lot of silly free kicks around the box.
Oh, that's excellent news. That is good news.
But he hasn't scored for a while. Again, I shouldn't say this out loud.
We're giving people 70% possession. People are running at us. We're just giving away silly free kicks all the time.
Yeah, we haven't had a James Ward-Prowse free kick in a while, but we also haven't had a foul conceded in the James Ward-Prowse area, which is basically everything just outside of the D and up to halfway line, because he can do absolute madness.
I guarantee you'll have several in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I hope he's warmed up his boots, mate, because especially if you see the name Shelby on the pitch, then you're gonna get 4 or 5 of those. I don't want to talk about him too much, because I think it's kind of disrespectful when people just tag Southampton as James Ward-Prowse. But has he been off the boil? For me, I've not been that impressed with him gameplay-wise over the last few games. I don't think he's been as influential as he normally is. I know you threw a hissy fit on your vlog when he got subbed off at halftime or whatever it was. I think he was ill or something, wasn't he? Yeah. But is that something that's that you've noticed? Is his influence diminished a little over the last few games? Has he kind of thrown the towel in a bit?
I would say he's thrown the towel in. I think the beginning of the season there was a situation where he was trying to get in the World Cup squad, and then he wasn't really playing decent football at all. He did not have a good start to the season at all. Outside of his free kick contributions, it was really quite poor, and even his corners were sort of commented on that they weren't the usual kind of standards. So it's not that he's thrown the towel in. I just don't think he's had a particularly great season outside of his free kick contributions. When Nathan Jones changed his role, he played a more of attacking number 10 role, so he didn't play in the kind of central position that he normally would, and especially that came to fruition in the Everton away game where we beat Everton, I think, at Goodison Park for the first time in 20-something years. So but you look at the amount of goals being scored outside of James Ward-Prowse, and it's a little bit embarrassing on the strike force, really. So it's no wonder that he's been sort of utilised in all these kind of positions. But it's not been the greatest of season for James Ward-Prowse at all. And of course, he's the first name on everyone's list of terms of like, oh, who's going to be off out the door come the end of the season. But being on a 5-year contract, it's one of those things where has he really shown much that people are going to be chucking money at him? And I'm not really sure, because most Saints fan would go, he's worth this at least. Well, he is to a Saints fan, but to anyone that's watched
how much do you think he's worth? Just out of interest.
Yeah, good question.
I would be disappointed if he went for less than 60 million, but I would.
60
million?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, man.
No.
40 max, I'd say.
He's 20,
60.
He's on a 5-year deal.
How old is
So?
he?
How many years is he
28.
into that deal?
28 now.
1.
So if we put Lingard on a 5-year contract, what, he'd be worth 100 mil? What's your logic there? I think Eddie was right earlier when he called you deluded Mike. I mean, 60. I don't know, man. Okay, how much would you value Maddison at? Someone similar who's not as good a free kick player. But what would you value Maddison at then?
Well, he's an England player, so you add an extra 10 on top of whatever it is.
England tax, yeah.
That's facts. 50 million?
Yeah, I was thinking 50 probably.
54.
So has he not got a? He might have a relegation release.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you go down, you'll go for like
possible.
20 mil, 25 mil probably.
Oh, that would really hurt.
I think it'd be.
what-
I think it'd be a bit more. I think it'd probably be 30. 30 would be.
30 was where I was going, yeah.
Yeah, 60's too much.
Yeah.
Maybe if you stay up and he was going.
Sounds like
with
I'm
a 5
haggling, doesn't it?
I know, yeah. Well, we'll take him off you if we stay up. But I don't know. I think is he? Do you think he will go? Or let me rephrase it. Does he want to go if you go down? Because he's never really made a fuss, has he?
I mean, he's basically been at Southampton his entire career. He's played every minute of football that he's been available, and of which is basically been. I mean, outside of that second half against Bournemouth, and then also the game against Grimsby, he's played every single minute for Southampton. So it's kind of weird to think that wherever he goes, I don't think he's going to be a first choice. The sort of clubs he wants to go to, is he going to be a first choice?
Yeah.
So I think that's also going to be on his mind and thinking like, okay, let's hypothetically look where he could possibly go. Maybe Newcastle, something like that, where he's going to be sort of fighting for European football. But even then, well, he's going to be in European football if he goes to Newcastle next season. But is he above whoever they're looking at? And
Bruno
whoever he
Guimaraes
goes
and that,
to, yeah, exactly. Whoever he goes to, he's going to be wanting first team football and playing every single minute. Is he going to get that? So
I can see West Ham going in for him, I think.
I think more a Villa. I think he'd be really good in a Villa team. A Villa team would probably be the right level for him. They're pushing into Europe. Good manager now. That would be kind of my choice on it. But look, he's still your player. I don't think we should disrespect.
Yeah,
it's like people do this to us on Brennan Johnson. And it's a similar situation where we think Brennan Johnson, what are we saying? We'd probably say 60 as well, wouldn't we, boys? I mean, he's on Mikey's tactics. He's on a long-term contract.
another
Well, how much
zero.
did you put him on, Si? Guys in the chat, how much is Brennan Johnson
Like
worth?
35 mil.
35?
Yeah, he's not worth that much, mate. He looks good playing for us, but I don't think he'll get into many other teams.
10 league goals in his first season in the Premier League. In a shocking team.
And a shit team.
In a non-attacking team. Put him in an attacking team, mate.
Yeah, it's
He's
not
worth
bad.
50 million plus easy.
Yeah.
Mike,
There's
who would you-
45.
Mike, who would you
Still
take
got
on
Roy.
Forest if you had a choice?
You got such a big menu. I don't know where to start. it's like a cheesecake factory menu.
It's
So
like
many
tapas.
pages in it. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I've been impressed by Brendan Johnson, and I think probably be him that I would be looking at the most in terms of a player that I've seen that's looked very, very exciting. I mean, I won't confess to being watching every single minute of Forest football this season, but I have.
Nor have we,
seen-
Mike, don't worry.
I've seen a few games, and he always seems to be the one that's causing a lot of problems, and seeing out scoring some good goals as well. But
Yeah, but Mike, he's a
scoring
bit
10
like
goals,
Ward
nobody's snuffed
Prowse. He's good on the highlights reel. I love him, by the way. I love him, but if you're being honest, he doesn't influence every minute of the game, but the minutes he does influence are critical. You know what I mean? But he won't be that player that you would expect to, grab the ball from his own box and take it up and score a worldie and then just, drag the rest of the boys with him.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but
No.
he's always the one that people name. He's always the one that people
Yeah.
name, isn't he? Yeah.
If I was a Southampton fan, I'd be taking, knowing what I know about Forest, I'd be taking Felipe Oniakate or
Okay.
Yates, Jacob Tanswell. You know, your
Danilo, mate. Danilo.
Yeah, Danilo
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, there's a few.
I'll take a goalkeeper. Ours haven't been great this season, so
Yeah, Hennessy's available, mate.
I bet
Who you got at the moment? Is it McCarthy in goal?
Sorry?
Who's in goal for you? McCarthy at the moment.
He has been for the last 2 games, so it wouldn't surprise me if he features on Monday night. Bazzuno's been kind of sort of put on the bench, which is being a bit weird because we haven't seen McCarthy all season. So it's
Was he
almost like
dropped then to put McCarthy in, or
I think so. I think maybe it's something that it's mad because Ruben said it's kind of chopping and changing and sort of I try a bit of this, try a bit of that, and this isn't working. I'll try this. So it's, you know, it could be anyone on Monday night. I would say. I mean, the last 2 games, McCarthy has looked a bit more. This is hard to say because we lost 1-0 and we lost at Newcastle, but he's a bit more vocal with the back line, a bit more mature in terms of what his distribution isn't as good as Bazzuno's is at all. He's more reactive than proactive. So there's a bit of a, there are negatives with both, but yeah, I'd probably say McCarthy. Maybe you might see on Monday night.
You've got a mate in there, Mike. You bought your away support.
Look at that.
Sean saying big Saints come back. Delusional Forest fans gonna be in tears. They're coming with fighting power. They're coming with fighting power. We've got a couple of questions from the chat for you, and I promise we'll let you go, Mikey. I'm just looking at the time. Sorry, we just get chatting, and God knows what happens there. Question in here for you from Simon F. He says, "Firstly, think Mike is a mountain of a man." That's a good compliment off the bat.
Wow.
Yeah. Felipe-like, but slightly less good looking. Sorry, Mike, he says.
You're more on the wood side.
Compared to professional athletes, I'll take it.
I'm hoping there's a question at the end of this, Simon.
Yeah.
I think there is, yeah. He
Sounds
goes,
like he's flirting. I don't know.
It's the voice, mate. It's the voice. He goes, but is there any part of him that still thinks Southampton are going to win 3 out of 4 games and stay up?
Yes. There is. In a mad world of football, there's always that mad hope that it could happen. And like I said,
in the abyss, though, Mike.
Is that going to be enough anyway? 3 out of 4 wins, 9 more points.
Probably. 33
maybe.
is tight.
33,
Maybe.
exactly.
Maybe.
And if it wasn't for the fact that we're playing, yourselves on Monday night, it might be a bit different. But the fact that we're playing yourselves, we've got Forest away and we've got Fulham at home. That it's not beyond the realms of possibility that you could win those 2 games. But it's also for the fact that we've beaten only 4 teams this season. Mm-hmm. So what makes us think that we can, win back-to-back games? I mean, that's
because we're fans, Mike. We're allowed to be delusional. Do you know? I thought you would get out of it because I thought you would beat Bournemouth, man. And that was the one for me. When you lost that one, I lost a bit of hope for you guys. If I'm being honest. Yeah, that was the key one. If you beat them, you would have kept them in it, and I wanted them down. Between you and me, they're such a shit.
Bournemouth, though. Most people had them down.
I ain't giving them no credit, man. John, if you're watching, fuck you.
Everybody. He's Bournemouth, and then who else?
Shout out to John. He was on with Charlie. He's doing a preview with Charlie on about the Chelsea game coming up, and he was just literally calling out Charlie. He goes, "Yeah, you had us down in 20th. Yeah, you and everyone else." And Charlie's like, "I ain't said nothing." I ain't said nothing. But yeah, I wish they'd go down. I hate them. But anyway, Mods, can you deal with this Shakala Bellend, man? But yeah, I think it was the Bournemouth match. Had you won the Bournemouth match, I would have actually been more worried about it. This one, because I think it'd go in. I guess my question here is, what do you think the mentality of the players is going into this one? Is this kind of gun-ho, let's swing, see what we hit or not, go out dying, rather than never knowing? Do you think they'll come with that approach? Or will that be the fans' approach and will the players be like, we're done?
Maybe. I mean, I think it's the fact, because it's an away game. Yeah, you might have the fact that because it's an away game, the the fans will be in good voice, but it will be an intimidating place to go. But it's almost like, are you at a stage now where the players are thinking, let's go for it, we've got nothing to lose? Kind of like, why haven't you done that 3 or 4 games ago? Why didn't you do that against Bournemouth? Where was that? Where was that fight on all those home games where you could have done something? And it's almost like, well, if we haven't seen it now, what makes us think we're going to see it on Monday? But it could be completely. You could have a very nervous atmosphere on the pitch from the Forest players that then suddenly everyone's written off the team already, so they're thinking, sod it, let's just go and play our football and just get on with it and see something crazy happen. I mean, we did a watch along for the Arsenal game and we're sat there in shock thinking that we're 2-0 up with 20 minutes played. It's like, what the heck's going on here? You know, so
Playing really well, by the way.
I can understand that mentality from the fans, but do you think that seeps through to the players? That, well, okay, we're gone anyway, let's just go out there and enjoy the football. Do you think that goes into the players' minds?
I think the players have to know what the feeling is from the fan base. I mean, there are so many sort of public statements being put out by the club and all this kind of stuff and all these press conferences and all the questions that get asked by the reporters pretty much mirror what a lot of the fan bases are thinking anyway. So they're going to pick up on that kind of insinuation, and surely that's got to rub off on the players on the pitch. But we just got to see, really. I mean, it depends how we're also set up. You know, if Ruben Sellers goes in there with a defensive kind of mindset, but he can't anymore. You know, a point for us is useless for you, but it's ridiculously useless for us. So he has to basically just go for it. You know,
I've got to be honest, Mike. We're the team to have a go at.
Yeah, but would it anger you, Mike? Like, in a way, if Forest were to play expansive football for the next 4 games and we survived, obviously I'd be eternally happy. But at the same time, part of me would be pissed off that we hadn't seen this throughout the season. I don't know if I'll probably get slated for saying that, but that's how I honestly would feel. Because knowing it was within us, you know, and I've been convinced all season it was. Would that be the same for you if you did go and let's just say, you know, let's go deluded Mike here, and you tunked us on Monday, right? Playing expansive football and everything. Would you suddenly think, like, where the fuck was this months ago?
Yeah, no, I would, but I'd be on caring, of course. I'd be effectively, you know, whatever gets the job done. But you know, it's been absolute dire watching this team play and just looking all over the place. You know, showing no identity. You know, Ruben Sellers talks a lot about identity, and we show promise here, and it's like, what are you watching? What are you?
Sounds like exactly what Cooper says. That's exactly what Cooper says. We have a game plan and we have an identity.
No, you didn't.
Believe.
You can see to go and bring on more defensive players. It's like, what are you doing? You know, you're taking off players that are making attacking differences, like, and you're taking them off the pitch. I mean, the 3 when we were 3-1 up against Arsenal, I'm thinking it's the 88th minute. We might just get this here. We never know. I think we were 96% chance of winning that game at that stage, and we were 3-1 up. And he takes off Romeo Lavia. I'm thinking, why? What possible good is going to do from disrupting this team right now in this moment and taking off your best midfielder? And then bring on your tallest striker, which you've not used at all, who then strolls around and then brings on another defensive midfielder. It's just like,
Mike,
literally, what are you doing?
Similarities between our clubs, you know, you would not believe.
It's just
it's like looking
agonising
at
to
the
watch.
mirror. Honestly, there's so many similarities. It's ridiculous. It could either be an incredibly boring game on Monday, or amazingly, it could be just a game of the season. I don't think there's going to be any in between.
Well, both teams have to go for it, don't they?
Yeah.
I want to get some score predictions, but Mike, I mean, how are you expecting to set up? Are you expecting him to set up with an attacking team? And if you are, what roughly will that look like in terms of formations and players that he's going to play?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll probably see kind of maybe a 4-2-3-1. Something like that, or maybe, you know, working with Bella Kopchat and Bednarek in defence. Salasu's injured, although it sounds like he wants to play for another club. He's injured. He's just had enough. Roman Peru's out for the season, so we're probably going to see, we will see Kyle Walker-Peters in the left-back position, Ainsley Nathan-Niles the right back. Charlie Alcaraz will be featured. He's been absolutely fantastic for us. James Ward-Prowse, of course, and Romeo Lavia. And then I expect to see Shea Adams and Walcott featured in there as well. So, playing further up the pitch.
Yeah. I hope he plays. I don't want to jinx it. These guys will absolutely give me a new asshole come Tuesday in the chat if he scores. But I don't mind seeing him play. He's like a Mopai for me. He's just crap, man. But like the last goal I remember him scoring was against Leicester on the second game of the season. I don't know if he's scored since then.
Well, the one he had disallowed the other day, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he said...
He's got 10 in all comps, hasn't he, for you?
Yeah, there's a lot in the cup, though. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 in the league all season. So you boys crying about Brennan Johnson. Our main striker's got 3 goals. We haven't got, I think, Adam Armstrong. I don't think he's even got a goal yet. So yeah.
Oh, mate, is he the one from Blackburn?
That's right, yeah.
He was good at Blackburn. I kind of wanted him at Forest at one stage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad we didn't then.
Yeah, we escaped that one as well as
one of those things where you've got...
one as well.
Yeah, championship strikers, can they cut it in the Premier League?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I know we've gone on for ages. I got 2 quick questions for you, mate, and then I promise we'll let you go. It's just so much fun having you on, Mikey, and the crowd absolutely love you. So let's just bring on a quick couple of the final questions. A couple of comments. Graham saying he watches Mike's YouTube channel and he never gets angry. I was thinking that as well, Graham, and then he suddenly got angry about that Arsenal one because his Man City protege got taken off. It still hurts him, you can tell. Simon's saying,
takes a lot.
Even when you see him on the vlogs and they can see, yeah, there's another one. Let's get a good shot of the away fans.
Exactly.
Simon's saying, don't you just hate jealousy? Florist are not the cherry flavoured team. You and Leeds got to go. I love this 11k stadium capacity. They're excited because they fluked themselves into the Premier League for one more season. They'll be going down next season. Pat saying, Mike is the best YouTuber outside of FFTV. He's better than inside of FFTV as well. And then the 2 questions I want to finish off with you before we ask you for your score prediction. Tommy's saying, why does Southampton have a tree in their badge? Now, I don't think it's a tree. It looks like a piece of broccoli to me, as I said to Mike when we met him first time round. But yeah, can you tell the guys who are interested? Or it might just be Tommy who's interested.
Okay. There are many factors of the badge, and it's particularly fun to talk about because, when you say that a badge looks like it's been done by a competition winner, the Southampton badge was done by a competition winner. So
it was ours, to be fair.
Yeah, but theirs was a 5-year-old competition winner.
Ours is, let me remind myself of what's basically in there. So the flower that's in there, I'll get onto the tree, don't worry, we'll get there. The flower is basically the flower of Hampshire. And then the river and the tree are connected because basically where the first ground was built, there was a forest there. So there we go. That's literally it. That's literally it, yeah.
Okay, I was hoping for something exciting. There you go, Tommy. I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Colour's asking you, would you take Letitia as manager? Would that be a popular choice?
I would take you as manager right now of my football club. It's that desperate. So there we go.
You'd take him before Monday.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'd make sure you win. Definitely. I wouldn't score. Put 12 reserve goalkeepers out or something. And then the final question, mate. I'm sorry, it's been well over an hour. I apologise, mate, but it's just too much fun with you. And they're loving you in the chat as well. And they're going to love you and show that they love you by subscribing to Mike's channel. Matchday Vlogs. It's in the description. You know what? I just realised it's not in the title. I will put it in the title as well. Please go and show some love.
My feed just went up.
The channel in the chat as well. Apologies, I'd always have it tagged. It's tagged in the beat the drop stuff.
It's fine.
Mikey, what's your score prediction?
My score.
Come on.
You got to do it in the Geordie accent.
One more chore to do, Mike.
Oh, dear.
It's £6 earned tonight.
It is indeed. Day 69 in the Big Brother house.
Sounded more Jamaican.
It's the Jamaican Big Brother. Easy now.
I can't do Geordie. It's too close.
Yeah, I guess it's the hardest one to do.
So just for Mike, just before you do your score, sorry,
prediction.
Mike, just before you do your score prediction, that I wanted to ask this, but because you've got quite a young team, how do you think the team's going to react to that hostile City ground atmosphere on Monday?
Oh.
Just a quick one,
Good question.
because the ground is going to be rocking on Monday.
But are we back
I know you got
hostile?
results against Arsenal and Chelsea and stuff, but I don't think their fans were up for the game as much as we're going to be up for
I
it.
think we're hostile side. I agree with Eds. We're supportive.
We're loud, but I don't
Yeah,
think we're
it is intimidating. If you're an away team, it can be quite intimidating.
What, the Cooper songs? Oh, fucking...
No, just in general, it's all the noise.
We did all
I mean,
right.
it's loud. I don't think it's an intimidating atmosphere personally, because I've been in intimidating atmospheres where the fans are on your back, and I don't think we get on the backs of away fans really in that sense. But carry on with your point. Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to make that point. Go on.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think we went away to Leeds and we lost that 1-0, but we weren't. I don't think we were overwhelmed by what was going on in and around us. We went away to Newcastle and took the lead. So we've been to some intimidating places before. I don't think none of these players have been to the Forest ground before, so we'll just have to wait and see. But
we found the Leeds away. They were intimidating, but towards their own team.
Really,
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
really,
but that was the game Jesse got sacked after our one. They won it. They were chanting him out, man.
Oh.
We've had a few of those. Though. We
fighting.
had them. Gerrard as well got chanted out of the City ground.
Yeah.
There's been a few, yeah.
yeah. So who knows?
No,
But
it'd be
I don't
interesting.
expect so. Yeah.
All right, mate. Give us your score prediction, mate, and then I promise you are free to leave.
Okay. I can see goals on either side on this, and I think it's going to be an annoying 1-1.
Worst result.
Yeah,
be
literally,
depressing,
Yeah, disaster for everyone. 1-1.
It just helps no one. It helps absolutely no one.
See what I did
Mikey.
there? Just killed the room, just like that. Just killed it.
You did. You built us up, and then you just flattened us out all in one
There's
swing.
nothing in the box. There's nothing.
I can't see a draw, to be honest. I can't see it because I think if it's a 1-1, both teams will still be going for it, and there'll be gaps left open, or someone will get a winner. I think.
I don't know, Si. If we.
but not a draw.
Do you remember when we went for it? Was it against Swansea in the playoffs back in 2011 or whatever? We just ended up conceding. That's why I don't.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't want one of
I'm
those
not saying we're
things.
going to win. I'm just going to say what somebody will win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's going to be one team
I love
going
that.
for it, isn't it? But both teams.
Yeah.
Guys, no excuses. The link is in the chat right now. Put it in. Go and show some love to Mike and Jack. It's one of the best channels. The vlogs are fantastic
definitely.
because he's got the best seat in the house. They got a nice little stand where they can put the camera on. Therefore, you don't get the shaky Forest Ant style hands, mate. It's nice and sturdy and solid. So make sure you go and show them some love. And please hit the like button. We've got well over 220 odd of you in here. Please hit that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe to both channels if you are new. Mikey, I guess we'll see you on Beat the Drop on Tuesday then. One of us is going to... Well, I'll be neutral, but either... hopefully Ant will be back. If not, Dino may be smug or hiding from you. We'll see how it goes, but... I'd like to wish you luck, but...
Not on this occasion.
Fuck you.
Feelings mutual. Feelings mutual.
No, mate. Well, enjoy the weekend, mate, and we'll see you on Tuesday. See you next Tuesday.
Indeed. Cool. All right, cheers, boys.
Thanks for your
Cheers,
time.
Mikey. All the best.
All right,
Much love
take
for
it easy. See you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Bye.
See you later.
What a guy. What a guy.
He's such a great guy. And his
Hold on.
vlogs are really good.
No, leave it. Don't change it now. I can see myself.
Yeah, no, I'm just got to bring Sai back in. Go on. Sorry, you were saying about his vlogs?
His vlogs are fantastic.
Yes.
Quality of them and just...
And you're right. He's got his camera lodged into the actual railings, and they're just above the away fans. So you definitely see some action. You see them conceding goals. That's for sure. But yeah, no, big, fantastic. Really great
He's
channel.
a top bloke as well, man. He's an
Yeah,
absolute
really
top
nice
bloke.
guy.
Yeah. So, guys, you heard the perspective from Sorry Mike, but thank you for subscribing to him, Martin. But But the question now really is, what do we think's going to happen? Now, Mike did take the piss out of me earlier. He said that the preview we did on the channel this afternoon, we were very cocky with what we were saying about some of the Southampton
really?
fans. I gotta say, man, they got so many double-barreled names. It was just getting confusing when I was going through all the players. There's literally so many. Yeah. So, what are you guys thinking, Dino? I feel you're the cockiest out of it. Usually, I'm the one being called a cocky prick, but you're the cocky prick tonight,
I've been
mate.
a cocky prick this weekend. That's fine. Yeah, I think we'll win. I don't think we're going to see any other change in formation or play style, to be honest.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that as a group here?
I think it'll be a Brighton performance.
Well, in the chat, can I get a 3 or a 4 on what you think how many defensive people are going to be? We're going to see a back 3 or a back 4. Now, I think it's a 4. Dino, you think it's a 3, yeah?
I want a 4, but I think he'll play a 3.
So what's that, bringing Worrell back in the 3?
Yeah.
I just don't see what the point of playing a 3 is. I can see what the point of I can see what the point of playing it is before, to get Nico Williams in the team. But if he's not in the team, we don't need a back 5. That's the only reason I thought we were playing a back 5 to accommodate Williams.
Yeah, I'd rather have 3 in the midfield, the central midfield, so 4-3-2-1 for me, ideally. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see a 3 at the back. I just think it's
no point.
Don't get me wrong, I don't want to see a 3 side.
I know you don't. Well, yeah, we're not saying you do or don't. What do you think? And guys in the chat, when you're writing, there's a lot of this is mixed. There's a lot of 3s and 4s. I love this one from Parachute Juice, man. 9. It's 9. Let me do this as a poll. It'll be easier to summarize the numbers. It looks quite 50-50 split. So, what did you think, Si? Sorry.
What do you want me to play, or what's Cooper going to play?
Give me both. Give me both. What do you reckon?
As I said, I don't see what the point of playing a back 3 is now, because I thought he was only playing it to accommodate Williams. But if Williams is not going to be in the team, we don't need a back 5. So I would say 4, to be honest.
The last game we had Ori and he still played the 5.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's because it's Brighton. It's a little bit different.
Maybe, yeah. I'll tell you what, we got away with that one. Did you see them? See Brighton last game?
Yeah, I know. They found their shooting boots now.
Good job we didn't face that Brighton, I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you, I just think we're a bogey team to them. I really do. I mean, we've taken 4 points from them this season.
Yeah,
playing low block football. Low block, mate.
Wow.
Low block, yeah. I think. I mean, look at Simon here saying, "Why play 3 at the back unless trying to get 1 injured and play a 4?" I agree. Look, with all due respect to Southampton, they're not going to offer us a huge threat going forward, as Mikey himself has said. Therefore, why would we not take that extra body and put it into midfield? For me, you put Quixote in there. Let's just say Yates isn't fit. Put Quixote in there as almost the holder for me. I know he won't. And then have Mangala and Danilo, if they're fit, as the 3. You got to go with the 3. Huh?
Quixote won't hold.
I don't get why he doesn't hold.
He's box to box, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a box to box.
But he's not a box to box.
He is a box.
I don't know.
No, I know you say. I know he plays a box to box for us, but I am telling you, his career.
He's reached that age where he thinks, "Stuff it, I'm going to do what I want."
That's what it is. That's what it is. For me, I always remember him as a CDM and occasionally centre back. Yeah, never this box to box role.
He's been out of position if he's CDM so many times, isn't he? So
I know.
Obviously box to box because he just likes getting forward and he can't get back.
No, the only game I remember him actually being played as a CDM was against that home tie against Bournemouth, and I thought he struggled because what Cooper was asking him to do is pick up the ball and turn and find a play, and he wasn't doing that, and he got caught out several times in that game. Even though
I agree.
He scored the goal and he looked pretty decent from other points of view, he couldn't. I don't know. He's just not playing that. He's not been played that way. That was the only game I remember him playing actually that deep, and it didn't work. But if you want him to pick up a ball and turn on it, no. But if you want him to sit there and have an extra line of defence in front of your central defenders, then yes, he can. Surely he can do that. But don't expect him to pick up the ball and progress it forward.
You're better off with. I think Yates is more disciplined in that role. I think he'd be more. I know we haven't tried him in that role yet, but I'm convinced that Yates would be a good CDM because he'd be more disciplined.
But he hasn't got the passing range, Dino.
Yeah.
You're going to laugh again. Colback. He's a
Colback, yeah, I wouldn't be against that.
I wouldn't have a problem with that if you're going to play a free.
He's probably our only CDM, isn't he?
He probably is.
Colback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyoto's a CDM, trust me. But I don't know why he's not being used in that position.
No, I don't know why he's not being used that way.
You watch him play CDM tomorrow. On Monday. You watch him.
I know he's not been playing. He hasn't played it once for us. It shocks me every time he's played.
Yeah.
What I'm saying though, on that Yates one, Dino, I don't think Yates has got the passing range. I think he would break the play up well, but you need the CDM to be someone who can initiate the play. It's almost why Cooper stuck with Freuler for so long, because he was meant to be that person. Thank you so much, Parachute, for the £4.50. Save this for a therapy session after Monday's game. I'm getting scared. We're building up the tension. This is what we do. This is what what you guys are tuned in for. But do you get what I mean on Yates? Like, I think he would be good in that position if he developed his passing game a bit for it. I think that really could suit him.
He just wants, for
if
me.
He's got two around him. If he's in a
What's the
free, then I
break?
can see Yatesy doing that role. But I can also see Mangala doing that role if he's given that. If it's in a free.
Yeah, I can see Mangala doing it, to be fair. Yeah.
But he hasn't got the passing range either.
But I think he doesn't need to have a range, though. He just needs to be able to pick up the ball and find.
Yeah, he's good on the turn.
Yeah, and if he's got somebody like Danilo around him, and maybe Yatesy, what he can do, he can progress the ball down the wing, not with a lot of skill, but with determination, and he has done that several times this season, especially down the right-hand side. But you need somebody disciplined playing behind him. But I think Cooper. This is what my concern is. That the results go our way, and Cooper just thinks, right, I'm going to defend this. I'm going to just try and keep on the counter attack. I think the best thing that can happen to us is either Leicester or Everton actually picking up a point or two before we play, and then put the onus on us. Because I think if those results go our way in terms of them both losing, then Cooper will just fucking sit back and wait to hit him on the counter attack. And yeah, that's not what I want to see. Which would probably mean he'd go with 3 at the back, which I don't want to see.
What do you think on this point, Si? Johnson, would you use him as a sub if we're playing low block? Crypto's saying here, if we play low block, then Johnson needs to come as a sub. He doesn't do anything otherwise. I kind of see his point. Do we end up wasting Jonna? And I do, in a way, understand the idea of having a fresh Johnson against a tired out back line, maybe in a second half. What do you think, Si? And what do you think his best position is? Do you think he's a 9? Because he's been slapped up there a couple of times down the middle lately.
Nah, he's not a 9. Johnson's not a 9.
No.
It's too lightweight. His strength is running down the wing, knocking the ball past defenders, running and then getting a shot off or getting a cross across. I've not been impressed with Johnson, to be honest. With the last few games, he's been very invisible. Especially, I think for the away games, he should just be on the bench for the away games because he offers absolutely nothing. I don't think it's his fault. I think it's the way we set up.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially away from home, there's no point playing him. You're better off playing Dennis. I think Dennis is a much bigger threat away from home than Johnson is.
Would you say that about MG Dub as well?
No, I think MG Dub is more important to the team than Johnson is. Because you
mean the away
earlier,
from home thing. What you were saying about away from home.
It's a setup, isn't it?
Yeah, but then you're going to drop the whole front line, aren't you?
That's a C-size point.
They're all useless, aren't they? Because the way we set up, away from home, it's very sitting back and.
If we're looking at that, it's a long way up to John Owen and MGW, isn't it?
Yeah, they're quite isolated, I think, away from home.
Passing, accurate. It showed because our final passes to the front line, whether it's from deep or further up the field, it's been shocking last few games.
Yeah, to be honest, this is where I thought Shelby would come in. I thought Shelby would come in, spray those passes around and get Johnson in.
Yeah, he does the odd one, but his percentage rate isn't as good as I thought it'd be.
I feel like maybe we weren't using Shelby in the right positions because we were playing him very deep, which doesn't make any sense to me because defensively he was shocking. Sorry?
everybody he brings into the club, he tries in that CDM role.
Mhm.
He's
It's like the
shocking
initiation,
defensively.
isn't it?
They do the dance there. Right, next game we got to play CDM.
Yeah. Welcome, Keylor Navas. You will start at CDM before we put you into goal. Oh, because we have no CDM, therefore we must test everyone out just in case. It's like Danilo as well, Dino. You shouted it out before he'd even, the ink had dried on the contract. He's a box to box. Don't play him as a CDM.
Even the Palmeiras fans were saying it was a CDM.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was a CDM.
Well,
when you
Dino,
watch those YouTube clips, with Danilo,
Yeah.
it was all billed as a CDM, and then he's not replayed there, is he?
Yeah, I mean, Dean's right. The other Dean, Voldemort still owes us a 50-yarder. It's getting further away now because there's interest being added onto it. Would you drop Jono for this one?
I'm actually be more like because if he's gonna play MG Dub on the left like he did in the last game, I'd rather he dropped MG Dub and played Dennis out that side. To be honest, if that's how he's gonna set up, I do understand, and it's more likely that he'd bring Jono on as a impact sub rather than Dennis, which he clearly hasn't been doing. When there's been games when we've all agreed that Dennis would have possibly made a difference as an impact sub. So he's more likely to, if he starts him off on the bench, that he'll bring him on at some point. But I don't know. I think it depends how we set up. Really does, because I don't want to see MG Dub out on the left. That's what I don't want to see. So
that's the problem,
I don't want to
isn't it?
see that. I don't want to see that.
That's what we see.
I hate it.
Doesn't work. I'd rather have bloody Awanya out on the left.
Yeah. I just want MG Dub in the middle, driving the whole team forward, bringing that energy. Everything goes through him. That's him at his best.
Yeah, but the problem
Get
you
him in
have
that
there,
10.
the problem you got there is that you end up in a square peg round hole scenario because he won't drop Jono or MG Dub. And what he will do, he'll go 4-3-1-2 to put MG Dub into the middle, but that makes Jono become a 9-ish player.
Yeah.
And if he goes the 4-3-3, he'll put Jono in his correct position, but it skews Morgan Gibbs White. I think at some point he's gonna have to make a ballsy. I know he's dropped Jono a couple of times, but he's gonna have to do it. Morgan Gibbs White
drop him at home. He won't drop him at home.
Yeah. I agree. And my issue with this whole Dennis thing, I just want to touch on Dennis for a minute, is Dennis, everyone apart from a couple of us, I think only me and Anne, I can't remember if Dino held on or not, or he got frustrated. As you turned on him, everyone had gone on Dennis. And then Dennis played his way back into it, in and around January, Feb, etc. And then even what you'd see most of the fan base was turning and warming towards Dennis. But then he's just disappeared out of the team sheet, man. I don't know what's happened and why, and he's not had to say back in.
It's so frustrating.
And you look at the minutes that IU's been given, it just doesn't correlate. It doesn't correlate. It doesn't make sense. And it's Cooper. It's a favourites FC again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good point.
It's like stage of the season with different players.
Yeah,
but it's not helping him.
CMGW on the left and Dennis not in the left. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It's my point of square pegs, round holes. We're seeing too much of it this season, and let's touch on this IU debate. Dino, where are you with this IU? Your fellow hairstylist. Are you with him, against him? Is he Cooper FC on favourites FC even or not? What do you think the scenario is here with him?
He's obviously come in because Cooper's got a old relationship with him, isn't he, at Swansea? So he's kind of another one that I think Cooper trusts and wants to bring in, and that's why I think I'm seeing a little bit of favouritism.
This comment.
I don't even know if I can bring that message out. You lot, brother.
I am.
Thank you, Crypto.
He's obviously past his best. He's not the sort of person I'd be bringing on first choice.
No.
If you've got 12 injuries like we have, then he's probably going to get some game time. But when you're bringing him on and leaving players like Dennis it makes no sense to me.
See, I understood initially to help with dressing room, because I think around that period he probably wanted more allies in that dressing room. So as a mascot sort of for Cooper, I thought, yeah, it might work, but I
Mate,
didn't
he needs to
expect him to
fucking
be given as
concentrate on the
much.
pitch.
Well, I
He's got
didn't expect him
Lingard
to
to
get
do the
as
happy
much
clapping
many
in the
minutes.
fucking dressing room.
Well, this is
Conte.
the problem, isn't it? It's not
Makes me
transferring
sick.
onto the dressing room anyway.
Gunslinger, you were going to say?
No, I was just saying I don't mind Ayew. Like I said to you before, I like his role. I like that role where, you know, if we're seeing a game out, bring him on for the last like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, because he does hold the ball up and he does win like absolutely every single header. Like it's ridiculous. He's so short, but he seems somehow to win all the headers.
Yeah.
And to be honest, against Brentford, I wasn't against him coming on. When he came on, I was thinking, okay, I could see what Cooper's trying to do. You know, Taiwo was struggling a bit. I think I wasn't against our substitutions, to be honest, when he came on, because you could see, right, let's just hold up the ball a bit more, you know, a bit more defensively, win those headers. But yeah, looking back on it, it probably was a bit too long in the game to start doing that. I probably would have been better off bringing Dennis on, I think, for that. But I'm not that much against Ayew. I think he gets a lot of hate. I don't think he's done anything wrong. I just think people maybe have expected more, or maybe people want Surridge to play. I don't know, but I'm not that against Ayew. I don't think he's done a whole lot wrong, to be honest.
Well, just quickly on the poll we've done, 2% would start Ayew, 43% would bench him, and 55% would drop him from the squads completely. I'm on the fence about him. I mean, I don't think he's done anything amazing when he's come on. I haven't got anything against him apart from a couple of things. One, Everton fans had to protest to not sign him. This is a team that bought Mopé and hate Mopé and got no transfers in January and begged their club not to sign Ayew. The second thing I've got against him is you go to the Saudi League to retire, man. You don't then get resurrected back into the Premier League from the Saudi League. So it does stink to me of Favourites FC. Thirdly, I don't get how he's ahead of Dennis. I don't mind him in the squad. Yeah, as Sai says, he does win a lot of headers. Yeah, he doesn't do much else apart from miss penalties. But I don't see how he can automatically jump from, you know, Scarpa, who's meant to be blooded into the team, Danilo, who was blooded into the team. But the likes of Ayew could come straight in from the Saudi League. I'm sorry, but the Brazilian League is a better standard than the Saudi League. I've watched, you know, both leagues. So those are my gripes. And I'm not saying he's a crap player. I just don't know how he's jumped the pecking order so quickly.
Championship standard, mate.
Sorry?
It's championship standard.
If that,
yeah.
I think he's struggled there, to be honest. I think he's struggled in the championship.
Mid to lower table championship standard.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was happy with bringing him in. I was happy to bring Wood in as well, because for me, it's just anyone but Surridge, to be honest. I don't rate that guy at all. I know obviously the fans love him, but I think that's just a case of, you know, whoever's not playing, we hold him in huge regard. Yeah.
Would you not have a Surridge ahead of Ayew then?
Nah, no way, man.
No.
I saw Surridge. Every time I watch Surridge, it's awful.
Mate, I'm fed up with Surridge fanboys around me where
I can't stand him, mate. It's just, yeah.
As soon as he's warming up, mate, they go mental for him.
You see him against Man United. I've never seen someone look so out of place on a football pitch, like at that level.
Yeah, I agree.
What were you on Surridge?
He looked like he was just behind the game constantly.
I was just interested where Dino is on Surridge.
He was fairly clinical for us last season, wasn't he? When he played,
but even last season he wasn't first choice, was he?
That's true.
He was bench option,
when he came on.
and there's a reason why he got binned from Stoke.
I don't think I'm going to put Simon up on this one.
And Bournemouth, don't forget.
Bournemouth as well, yeah.
Simon's got the crypto moral hatred.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I like he's a good lad, but I just get frustrated when he's so overhyped by all the as Ed said, all the lovers.
I don't think he's had the opportunities that some of the others have had this year.
Agreed.
Yeah, but should he be getting the
But he
opportunities?
scored one goal, Dino. He scored one goal all season.
We've not exactly got the best strikers in the league.
You're breaking up a little, Dino, and you're going a little quiet.
We've not exactly got the best strikers in the league.
That is true.
If we're putting a 1 year up there as our best striker, then come on, you know.
It's not about the finishing. I think his finishing's not too bad. It's just all round play. I don't think he's got the
He's
pace.
always offside, isn't he? He's always offside.
He can't dribble at all. He can never beat a man. It's still all-round play. I don't doubt his finishing, but he will never get himself in that position to finish,
No,
especially the way we play.
Striker, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, just very quickly, and the hat with the $4.99. Thank you so much. Cooper lost, I think it means, without Stephen Reed. How can you put IU ahead of Dennis?
Nice one, lads. Love it. Winking face.
Cooper is lost without
Ethan
Reed.
Reds.
Surridge is better than IU, he says. Thank you so much for that. And then we also got... Where's it gone? Did we just get something else in?
No, that's the only one I've seen.
That was the one. Okay, thank you so much. All right, lads, let's get on to the brass tacks here.
Yeah. Go on then.
Ez,
Okay. Well, I see goals in this one, mate.
for us or against us?
Both teams scoring, mate. I'm going for quite a high score, but I'm going for a win. Going Forest 3, Southampton 2. No, it's going to be.
Will we hold the lead the whole game?
No, no. I think we'll have to. I think we'll be 2-0 up. Then they'll get level, and we'll have to score a late winner.
Oh no, I can't do a watch along for that kind of crap.
I can't deal with it. I won't. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if Ant goes and he can last the whole game, hopefully. But if he leaves, then it's probably a good sign, actually, because we won.
Yeah, I don't want Ant to go.
No, he was 1-0. We were 1-0 down when he walked out, wasn't he? Yeah.
And I love you, but I hope you're still sick on Monday. Just very quickly before I come to Dino, Owen with the gifted membership. Thank you so much. And Matty's got it. Congratulations, Matty. Make sure you give the legend Owen a massive thank you. Thank you again so much, Owen. Do appreciate it, bud. Dino, what say ye? Monday at 8 under the lights.
Win.
Say again. Get closer. You're doing an ant here.
2-1 win.
2-1 win. Will we be leading when they score the one, or how's that going to break down?
I don't care. The Heart's going to not take it anyway, so I might not see the end of the match. Might be
Nathan, don't just rip his ticket up. We don't want him there.
Yeah.
We don't want him there. Like, he jinxed us, and then we unjinxed her, and we beat Brighton. We need him gone. Love you, Ant. Sai.
Yeah, 2-1. 2-1 for me.
2-1.
I can see them scoring. I don't know why. I can just see him scoring that Alcatraz, wherever his name is. I don't know what it is. He seems quite dangerous. Yeah, I can see him putting one in, and then we'll come. It'll be we'll score first. They'll score. No, I think they'll score first. I think, and then we'll score 2.
We're gonna go behind. I can't deal with that. That's worse than S saying we'll draw, man.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see their fans going crazy.
It's stressful.
We need this win, though, don't we?
I can genuinely see something about you said earlier. I can genuinely see it being the other way around. We get a draw against Southampton when we go and beat Chelsea. I can see that happening. I'll take 4 points. If I could guarantee that, I'd probably have it that way around, to be honest. But we're not going to guarantee anything.
Let me ask.
With that Chelsea game, I just see that same situation that happened against West Ham, happened against Leicester, happened against all these clubs. As soon as we turn up, do you know what I'm talking about? We give them the CPRs. You said.
Yep, CPR FC, man.
I can see that happening, to be honest. So we got to win this one. I don't bank on anything with Chelsea away. That's a tough game.
Well, let's go positive here, right? Let's go positive here, right? If we win. Sorry, when we win, because you've all said a win, yeah? Yes or no as well in the chat. Do we stay up? Dino?
Yes. Anything other than a win, no.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Ez?
Thank you, Phil.
Do we stay up? Yeah.
If we win, are we up?
Yes.
Okay. Am I going to get 3 for 3 before I do? Massive shout out and thanks to Phil. 2-1 scrappy game. Thank you for the 199, Phil. We'll take it. And I believe, is he still in here? He should be asleep. Get to bed and get some rest, you freaking old... It's going to call someone else. Old fart. Hope you're feeling better, mate. Sai.
Oh, it's just that goal difference, though, isn't it? Like, that's the problem.
You're more negative than me, man.
No,
So,
I'm
yeah,
just saying what I see. I'm just saying how I see it. It's just that goal difference because I can see us getting 1 win and 1 draw. It's just I don't know if that's going to be enough because I feel like we're going to be. I feel like we need 35 points to stay up, to be honest, because of that goal difference.
I do think it's 35 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think, but I definitely think, yeah, as Dino said, if we don't win, we're down. We're down.
Yeah, too much.
But do you not see potentially Leeds getting slapped by Man City and Newcastle?
It doesn't work like that.
No, we're in Mike territory.
Never
now,
works
where
like
he's looking for a miracle.
I can see Allardyce picking up like 2 wins.
Nah,
You reckon?
he's drunk, man.
I think
Can we let's
No, I
quickly
can
do
see
the
it, man.
opinions on Allardyce? Let's do the opinions on Allardyce because we haven't
the new
sat
manager
down
bounce.
since.
New
Go on,
manager
Si.
bounce.
What are your thoughts on Allardyce?
I just think new manager bounce. It's something that we've not been able to capitalize on this season. Because Leeds, they got a manager bounce when the caretaker came in. Then they got a manager bounce when the new manager came in, and then they're probably going to get a new manager bounce now with Allardyce coming in.
But you say that they've got Man City, Newcastle back to back. Where they
We
bouncing?
need 38 manager bouncers.
Where you seeing the bounce, Si?
Spurs, that's a win.
That's
And
the
who have
last
they
game
got
of the
second?
season.
Yeah, who have they got second last game? Is it Fulham or somebody? No.
It's not Wolves. That's Everton who have got them. Hold on, let me
It was
check.
Might be a
Is it
team
West
down
Ham
there.
or something?
Yeah, I
I
think,
think it is West
Ham.
Ham. I think it is West Ham. Yeah, they've got
you
West
can see
Ham
them
away
winning that,
and
yeah.
then Spurs at home. So this is their 4, right? Man City away, Newcastle at home, West Ham away, Spurs at home. Where's your bounce?
Oh, are Newcastle on the beach? Have they got
No.
top 4 secured?
No,
Have
they're
a look
not.
at the
They're not
table.
safe.
Oh.
No, they're not.
They're not guaranteed that top 4, are they?
But that is an ex-club of his. That is an ex-club of Allardyce.
I don't know what that means.
There's always a little bit of needle,
most
isn't
of
there?
the clubs in the Premier League are ex-clubs of Sam Allardyce.
Apart from us, yeah. I don't know. I think he's not going to get the bounce.
To be honest, it doesn't matter if he gets a bounce or not. I think if they're stuck with Gracia, they would have been down anyway. That's why
True.
I think it's quite a smart move.
If
The
I
way
think
they
that
were
if they
going,
bought-
the
if they
way they were
bought
going,
Allardyce-
they were going to get slapped up. Yeah.
If they bought him in, if they bought him in instead of Grazia at that time, then yeah, I could have seen him.
No,
stay.
Gracia was looking good though. He was looking, up until half time at Palace. I thought he was solid. I don't know what happened after that half time break, but because I remember.
It's the same problem Allardyce is going to have. They play a certain way, and they've played that certain way ever since they had Bielsa, and it's not changed. And he's a defensive manager. He's going to struggle. He's got the same.
But all he
same
needs
with
is just 1 or 2 wins. That's all he needs. 4 games.
That's all we need. Well, what are you
Yeah,
saying,
I know.
Dino? What do you think on Sam better than Pep / Klopp Allardyce?
Well, he's got blueprints, hasn't he, for survival? He put it on. We saw it on Sky Sports last week, where it's just like get your defence right, and it's like a 5-point plan. So it's got to simplify everything. So if they're super confused about tactics from previous managers, then he'll simplify it and just let them go out and play football. So he's been proven, I think, 4 times out of the last 5 survived.
Yeah, apart from West Brom, yeah.
Yeah.
If you look at
So it
those,
does worry me. I would have preferred them keep the old manager.
Yeah, I would have preferred that, definitely. I mean, look at Warnock as well. Look at Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson, yeah, we laughed at him.
Warnock saved Huddersfield as well. So yeah, I'm a bit worried about these old, not old guys, but guys that have been around the block
Well,
for a while now.
They are old, yeah.
I don't know if that was insulting saying that, but yeah.
His
I don't know.
England tenure was the funniest thing, wasn't it? Was it one
Yeah.
match?
One
It
match,
was a
yeah, but then
100% win rate.
why did he never get done for that that entrapment stuff? Where he's talking about the break. Do you remember it? I remember seeing all the videos, and then they sacked him, and then nothing happened. How was he
Yeah,
still
is that
allowed
not
back in football?
is that not is that not illegal to do that?
of course
Yeah,
it is.
that's why I don't get what happened after it. I remember seeing all the videos, and he was in that restaurant or bar or whatever
Yeah.
it was, and then they sacked him, and then it's he's West Brom manager now, and it's just isn't he going to jail for that? Is that legal? But I don't know. I don't know. If that's what the Leeds players want, then cool. All right, let's finish with this. Bottom 3. Where we are now, as things stand. Ez, who's going down? Guys in the chat, you know we got to do this. Who's going down? Give you 3.
Okay. From the bottom up, Southampton, Everton,
Sorry, Mike.
And Leeds for me.
Southampton, Everton, Leeds. Okay, solid choice.
Go to
Si?
next.
Yeah, Southampton, Everton, Leeds. I hope it's Leicester. I hate Leicester. I hope it's Leicester, but I can't see it. So yeah, Southampton, Everton, Leeds. But it just depends on what Allardyce does. If he pulls it out of the bag, then that could be Southampton, Everton, Leicester, or Southampton, Everton, potentially us. To be honest,
I think there's a bit of a fallacy about him though. If you look at the teams that he kept up, most of them he joined them before the January transfer window. So he had a transfer window. He got his
this is very late.
Was West Brom where he had the least amount of time. So unless he's got 5 or 6 months with that squad, I don't think he can make an impact. And with those, they only look like his position or 2 better than when he got there. So he's not. I don't know. He's not. He seems to get like a couple of results in a row, and which will keep him safe.
Yeah, but that's all you need. That's the thing is, that's all you need at this stage.
Of course, but I think this is too late for him. Like I said, if he'd bought in front instead of Grazia, I could possibly have seen him.
I mean, if they brought him 2 games ago, so he could have bounced against Leicester and Bournemouth, then maybe. That's the thing. It may just be too little, too late. Dina, I see you doing some number crunching there.
No, I was just having a look at the table we did the other day where we worked out of it, and I can't find it. But I think I had Southampton, Leicester, and Leeds. Bit of an unusual 3.
You think Everton come out of this?
Yeah, I do.
I hope not.
Wow.
I hope not.
Nobody could see that. Did you see that I sent earlier? It's Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's Frank Lampard. And what's that program called?
Countdown.
Countdown.
Yeah. And he's got they pull the letters out.
The L's.
And he's saying, "Can I have a W, please, Rachel?" I thought that was hilarious.
I'm hoping he gets a W this weekend. I'm really hoping he gets it against Bournemouth
Next
to be honest.
weekend. Listen,
Do you
I
think?
think, can we agree on this, right? If Leicester lose to Fulham, they're done.
Yeah, I was listening to your show earlier. Yeah, it's interesting.
What do you think?
Who's their next fixtures after that?
So Leicester have got Fulham away, then they've got Liverpool at home, then Newcastle away, then West Ham at home.
The West Ham game is probably winnable. To be honest.
That's the last day of the season, so
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure. Is that at home or is it away for them?
that's at home for them.
Can I just ask one more thing? It was
You may.
a comment from Stephen earlier. Can we all do this?
Yeah.
I would, just because of the play style, unless he changes his ways drastically. I don't want to see that sort of football at my club.
I don't think you can though, Dino. I don't think you can, mate.
No,
Do you
would
reckon?
you? Not whether Marinakis would or would you?
I wouldn't sack him. If we stayed up, I wouldn't sack him. Let's see how it goes next season.
Like,
If
you
it's
hate his play style, Si.
Yeah, but if he keeps us up, that's all I care about. I don't care about play style, mate, to be honest. I care about results. If he does the job, keeps us up, I'm happy with that.
We haven't had either, mate. We haven't had play style or results. If we stay up, we'll stay up because teams are worse than us. And
Yeah, that's still getting results, though, isn't it?
I'd still sack him tomorrow.
I just think, mate, if you sack him after he keeps us up, that would be...
Why?
No, that wouldn't be good, I don't think. I think
He'll
the
get paid
fan base
up.
would flip.
Listen, he's not going to walk away empty-handed, is he? He's going to take
Mate.
money special prize. And
No,
he'll
I'm
be
not saying
fine
you
with
can't do that in terms of Cooper. I just think the fan base would be completely
But
devastated and start rioting.
But the fan base needs to get a grip. Because I've never seen anything like this. Fans saying that he's the best manager since Clough. The other fans
Yeah, I
haven't
know.
seen Frank Clough. haven't
Better
seen-
than Clough, some of them are saying, man.
Nah, no.
Yeah.
Delusion. I would do it just to break up the delusion and the cult.
He can't. He's
Do
bigger than
people
Forrest
forget?
now, to be honest.
Do people forget that Di Matteo got sacked? Was it Di Matteo got sacked? Who won the Champions League for Chelsea?
Di Matteo.
Yeah, and got sacked. Ranieri got sacked, winning the league.
Exactly. There's no loyalty in football except at Forest this season.
I know,
There's no
but we've
loyalty.
set out this season to stay up. If he achieves those targets, you can't really sack him for it. in my opinion.
I'm not sure that was
you can.
anything in Marinakis' mind on the transfer steps last summer.
There's too
Yeah.
many stories about Marinakis not happy with play style and stuff for him to stick around. I think if he saves him, he'll get a good payout, and then he should go.
No, Owen's back.
God, imagine Owen will bite back at this one. But for me, I agree. I think the cult needs to break. You know, I'm not saying that the people at Cooper Inn are in the cult, but there's a certain element to it that is a Cooper FC cult, and he's got to go. I would sack him tomorrow still. I really would, because I'd be more confident when the manager bounce in the Southampton match than just doing a Forest.
I hope he does, Gary Bowden.
Listen, Gary Bowden. I would love Cooper to prove me wrong and play the most eloquent style of football I have ever seen, and I will happily bow down to it. But I haven't seen any evidence of that this year. Zero.
I think it has been tough though this season with the injuries. You know, we've not had a settled side. We've not.
I'm sorry, that's an excuse.
It is a factor though. It is definitely a factor.
It's a valid factor, definitely.
It's a factor. It's not a
factor
reason.
in our results. It's not a factor in the way we play. The way we play is down to him. The
Exactly.
way he's got us playing is down to him. We've had no identity apart from a low block team. That's our identity this season. And yes, if it keeps us up, he's done enough. But he hasn't done enough to earn another year for me, and out of a top flight. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, and I think Ez, I think you have to give him, a few games next season and see how it goes. If it's the same stuff, then I would be obviously in favour of finding someone else. But
then you've wasted a transfer window. You've wasted a transfer window buying players for his style. That's the problem with it.
Because that's
listen.
Let's be honest about what. Go on.
Let's do this, right? Let's make this very simple, okay? Right now, all I care and all of us care is that we stay up, yeah? This debate needs to happen once, not if, once Forest are up, yeah, and safe. Yeah. Let's save the debate for then. Let's finish like this, yeah? Let's just back the team come Monday. Back the management, back the assistant managers, back the freaking toilet cleaners, all of them, right? Because right now, all I care about is that we're playing Premier League next season, regardless of how crap I think the football style is. Yeah. So let's have this mindset now. I don't even want to do in-depth analysis after matches anymore. It's something Mike on Everton's not doing now, and I kind of see his point on it. Like sitting there criticizing the players with 3 games to go, I don't feel right doing it. So let's for the next 4 matches just back them, pray, and hope that we can get 4 or 5 points, and that's enough.
And guys, just even if I'm sick of having to clarify it, but please be aware that we want nothing more than the best for Forest. But we're giving our opinions on how we want to see us going forward. And if you're asked the question publicly, I'm sure you'd have a different answer as well, guys. So don't get too upset about what we have to say. At the end of the day, we all want Forest to do well. Be all and end all. That's what we want. We want us to stay up. Beyond everything else, anything else is a bonus. But we want Forest to.
I'm not going to get it.
Exactly, but like the point is, we all have the same objective, the same goal. Yeah, we just all think about what the best scenario is for that goal in a different way. That's it. That's it. So look, let's just agree for the next 3 matches, whatever it is. We just help them over the line and let's see what happens, okay? Let's finish on a nice positive note there. We've gone on for ages. My God, I've just seen the time. Guys, we will be back. I think we're going to do a watch-along tomorrow for the Man City.
Are you doing the Monster watch-along on Monday?
I might do the Monster watch-along on Monday. If the guys hit the like button in the chat, we may do the triple whammy watch-along on Monday.
That's a big day, isn't it, for a relegation battle?
Yeah,
on Monday.
It starts with Leicester. Was it Fulham, Leicester, and then Everton, Brighton, Everton, and then Forest away. Forest at home to Southampton. If you guys hit that like and subscribe button, maybe we'll do a triple threat.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Monster watch along. Could be a long day. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed having Mike on. He was an absolute legend. We all think we're going to win. Let's hope Forest don't do a Forest or do a Forest and get us the 3 points. And we'll catch you tomorrow. I think we might be doing a watch along tomorrow. Just watch this space. And come on, you Reds.
You Reds.
You Reds.